Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video is just going to be a reflection. As I've been catching up, watching videos, I see a lot. But it just seems like a lot of people have gotten distracted away from the message and the purpose in hand. So let's not forget the person who we all say we support, which is R. Kelly, Robert Kelly. Let's not forget who that person is.
We rolling? Are we rolling? Are we rolling? Are we rolling? This is my life. I'm R. Kelly and this is my life. This is my life. This is my life. I'm R. Kelly and this is my life. My eyes have seen a lot of things coming up in the hood. Jeffrey Manors, Arkell Gardens, 63rd and Michigan. Oh, the South Side wasn't no punk. I fell from the sky, landed on the ground, and then I woke up as a well in the middle of a pond. And the minute I opened my mouth and started to sing, oh, that changed everything. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know just how I got here, just how I made it, just how I made it, just how I made it here. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Coming up in the hood, I saw so many things. Though so many things brought me all of my dreams. And now here I am today. Here I am today. 'Cause if you know how to deal with your problems, and depending on how you deal with your problems, that will become the measure. That will become the measure. You can make it. Ooh, you can make it. You can make it. You can make you can make it. You can make it as long as you're breathing, long as you're alive. You can make it. Yeah, that's right. I was a street performer. I was a street performer. I was a street performer. I was a street performer, and I will always be first. A street performer. I would be singing like this. Someday the world would know my name. I would be singing like this. Someday the world would know my name. And here comes the L, and here comes the L, and here comes the L. And I'd shut up until the L stopped. And when the L stopped, it became quiet again. And I would say, I know someday the world will know Robert's name. McDonald's is the place for you. When your day is through, you can go to McDonald's and get yourself a Big Mac, a Big Mac. Order of fries, icy Coke with apple pie. No one does it like McDonald's do. McDonald's and you. It was amazing times, because those were the times I was paying my dues. That's right, I was paying my dues. That's right, I was paying my dues. My dues. The minute I was born is the minute my father left my mother. Yes, the minute I was born is the minute my father left my mother. And I used to ask my mother, where is my father? Every time she shunned the question, she pushed me away. She said, never ask me that again. Son, never ask me that again. And it would hurt so damn bad. It would hurt so damn bad. And me being 8 years old, I would be so damn sad. As I got old, as I got old, get out, Robert. I don't want you to see me like this. Get out, Robert. I don't want you to see me like this. Because I don't want to stop my climb and get up there and the easiest thing blow me off. I said, okay, Mama, 2 blocks and back. Okay, Mama, 2 blocks and back. I promise 2 blocks and back. Then I get on my little huffy. Do like this, because I used to do this. Because I used to want to think it was a motorcycle. And I say, brum, 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 brum. From now on, I'm gonna be on the bright side of things. No more, I can't do it. It's my life, I'm gonna live it. And maybe I'll succeed. What a wonderful thing to get about this hood would be. And maybe times will change, and someday the world, they would know Robert's name.
Now, granted, everybody has the right to their own opinions, but I just wish some would just take a step back and reflect on some of the things that they are doing. A lot of people have messaged me about the ongoing conflict, and we all know I stay out the mess. But it's just saddening to sit here and look at the type of person that Robert Kelly appears to be. Would this behavior be appropriate at this particular time? Sometimes it's necessary to put your differences aside and just stick to the facts. Like, for example, during the GQ magazine, there was a lot of interesting statements made. Let's go back and reflect. Now, this article was 2016, and of course, it starts off talking about the 1996 lawsuit of Tiffany Hawkins. But I don't even know why they keep referring to these settlements as lawsuits when they didn't proceed throughout the court. Hence, that's why they are settlements. But, anyways, they go on to talk about how the case took 6 years to go to trial. When it finally did, the girl whom the prosecutors had identified declined to cooperate, as did her parents. All three had apparently denied to a grand jury that it was her in the video, though a number of close relatives and school friends testified otherwise. Unreliable people, might I add. Kelly likewise exercised his right not to testify. In Solar Coaster, Kelly says that at the start of the trial, the prosecutors offered him a deal: plead guilty and serve only 8 months behind bars. Kelly's attorneys and his business manager advised him to take it. Otherwise, he was looking at 15 years. He refused. Don't say we didn't warn you, he reports they told him. Sound like deja vu. His confidence or faith or stubbornness turned out to be well placed. In June 2008, a jury found him not guilty. The reporter says, I don't think there's many people who believe that wasn't you in the videotape. R. Kelly replies, you say you don't what? The reporter repeats, I don't think there's many people who believe you weren't in that videotape. R. Kelly says, you don't think it's many people? The reporter goes on, I think everyone thinks that it was you. R. Kelly exclaims, even the ones that buy his music? The reporter says, yes, absolutely. R. Kelly asks, and sells out my shows and buys the tickets? The reporter says, yes. So what do you think they think about that? The reporter says, I think people really like your records and they think they don't have to hate you. So this is back in 2016. This reporter is already with this narrative. Now let me stop and say, I have come across some people that I know for a fact believe R. Kelly is guilty, but do not care. Nonetheless, for some strange reason, those type of people and everybody else that supports R. Kelly are put in the same box. And that is the discrepancy, because that's far from the truth. You got those type of people, and you got people like me who genuinely feel he's not guilty of the charges he's being accused of. and we can just sit here and break down all these people that they have mentioned, even back at his first trial, mentioning Tiffany Hawkins, Patrice Jones, and all these other settlements that occurred. What they failed to add in these reports and these articles is how the police was investigating this and found no evidence to substantiate any claims throughout these years. Yet we sat here and watched them devise a plan to get the media's attention and to keep this whole charade going. Again, all these people are questionable. And in any other case, these people would be deemed not credible. Yet they're willing to risk this whole case relying on these type of people. But let's get back to the article. The reporter goes on to say, "Sure, but let me ask you a simple question. Is that you in that video?" R. Kelly responds, "Because of my lawyers, to this day, I cannot have those kind of conversations, being advised by my lawyers in this." So, regardless of what reporter asks him this question, his answer is pretty much the same. As a result of the legal documents that he signed and him honoring the non-disclosures, he's not speaking on these things. The reporter says, "I understand why you wouldn't during the trial period, but," R. Kelly says, "because they could come back to haunt me. Things could come back and they can just restart all over again, and I have to protect myself." So it seems like it was always put out there that he could be recharged. But people are going to think that if it wasn't you in the video, there would be no legal ramifications in saying it's not me. It would be the easiest, simplest, most obvious thing on earth to say. Not necessarily, R. Kelly says, because I've said certain things when it all first started, but that didn't go too good. But that didn't do no good. So I had to go get lawyers, and they had to protect me. So now I'm under my lawyer's advice. Then the interviewer goes on to ask him about the urinating part of the video, and is that a part of something that he likes? In which R. Kelly responds, "Absolutely not." The reporter says, "In no circumstances." R. Kelly says, "No." So given that, and given that there's a perception out there that associates you with that behavior, how do you feel about that? Well, I used to be, wow, seriously, it made me feel terrible. But now I honestly don't think about it, or could care one way or the other what people think about me. I have fans and I have family that love me, and I have my music and I have my breath going in and out. I'm more than okay with who I am and who I've become today as a man, and I'm just moving on with my life. Before I was famous, girls wasn't even checking for me. But when I became famous and came into money, I'd walk into a club and sometimes it'd be like 20 girls stuck to me coming out the club. So, out of his own mouth, and as I've said a while ago, as it tends to be with these artists, in the beginning, nobody's checking for them. But then when they get money, then all the girls want to be around them. And then they want to, in today's age, get mad because they don't establish anything for themselves. And it seems much easier to play a victim. Nonetheless, the main point in reflecting on this GQ was they even asked him about Bill Cosby. He commented, he can't figure out why he has the ability he has. He can't really read or write, doesn't spell, no math, but at the same time, he can write songs and do what he does, and that boggles him. A question many people have asked to this day, making fun of the fact that he has dyslexia and has a problem with reading and writing. But anyway, they asked him about his perspective on Cosby. And R. Kelly responds this: in my opinion, I don't know what happened. I'm a fan of Bill Cosby's, from the Bill Cosby Show, of course. Who's not? And for me to give my opinion on something that I have no idea if it's true or not, all I can say is it was a long time ago. And when I look on TV and I see the 70, 80, 90-year-old ladies talking about what happened when they were 17, 18, or 19, there's something strange about it. That's my opinion. It's just strange. This was in 2016. He goes on to say, if God showed me that they were telling the truth, I would say that's wrong. I don't care if it was a zillion years ago. But God would have to do that because God is the only one who can show me that. No man can tell me that. And when you wait 70, 50, 40 years to say something that simple, it's strange. You know why I say that is? Because it happened to me and it wasn't true. So he put himself in that same position which he is in, women waiting decades after the fact and want to jump on this abuse train. Nonetheless, we don't see a shift in R. Kelly's demeanor, in his behavior, and how he handles these conflicts. But if you just keep watching these so-called accusers and these witnesses, you see quite a lot of shifts. For example, take Carrie Kelly, R. Kelly's weak-ass brother. Now his story is that his brother tried to bribe him to say he was the person in the tape. But he must have forgot that he already said a long while ago that he had heard rumors that his brother's legal team might suggest he was the man on the tape. He even went into detail saying that R. Kelly never said this directly to him. Yet now the story shifts to he tried to bribe him to say it was him in the tape. Okay? That's one. Just one example. You got Cheryl Mack, who's one of the people who tipped off Tim Savage with Ashanti, on record saying All the women that R. Kelly deals with are 18 and 19, while others are in their early mid 20s. Technically, she said they can leave. Technically, she says they can leave. But yet, all these people want to run with the narrative. He's holding people hostages. Stockholm Syndrome. It's just crazy how you could just watch them all flip flop. You can go to the people that have been saying they have been in relationships with R. Kelly and what they said and how they were able to leave. If they didn't like the situation that was going on, such as waiting for him for hours, they could leave. But yet, we see these accusers want to put out there, oh, we were locked in a van, for example, like Faith said, just to make it sound better and not admit the fact that they were just being stupid. If they were waiting around for him for 8 hours, they chose to do so. But to wrap this video up, it's just so much out there that can be broken down. Even the stupid shit that we see with Azriel saying, what if I had a video of R. Kelly, Robert, coercing me on what to say? Well, just go and Google deep masking and all that. Deep fake. It's no different than this photo you popped out, which clearly is photoshopped. Clearly. Clearly. At this particular point, she can't show me not a damn thing. If she wants to sit here and act like she's the next Aaliyah, kudos to her. But just peek game and watch what's going on in the background. Everybody that's saying I support Robert Kelly does not. Some people are out for their own motives. But at the end of the day, if we just stay focused on breaking down these facts, it's only a matter of time before even the naysayers have to wake up and realize they have been deceived. Period, point blank. What video shall I do next? I'll leave that up to y'all. Drop some comments. Who would you like to see next? I've heard some people say they wanted to see Hallie, for example. You got Kitty, Tiffany Hawkins. I did a little bit on her. Javante. A lot of people haven't said anything about this Montina girl who was in the sex tape. All these different women were in this sex tape and even sued him because other people leaked it. Even Drea. A lot of people don't know she had a lot of liens going on in 2016. So that may explain why she all of a sudden jumped on the bandwagon. Mama got to pay some bills. And it's absolutely crazy that she missed this hearing that Steve Greenberg mentioned a few weeks ago, talking about she didn't have the funds, but we clearly saw her in her new weed product. So where'd she get that money? Things to make you go, Ooh, Regina Davis. A lot of people didn't know that R. Kelly was in a relationship with her, longtime employee. And according to Lisa Van Allen, she told Regina Daniels about her having sex with this 14-year-old girl back in 98. But yet she wants us to believe, instead of leaving then, she waits and says, well, he crossed the line because he started dating my daughter. See the trend in how people will get mad and then start with the allegations? They don't tell you how she even tried to extort money from him. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Like the video. Comment what you like to hear a breakdown on next. And keep supporting the channel. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night.